what, 57, 51 or something like that.
Sometimes I wish I couldn't. We changed defenses and we played a little bit of point drop in the first half, but we made some personnel switches, put guys in different spots that they were killing us on ball screens, and we just did a better job with the personnel changes. The way we played the personnel, we did a much better job of guarding their ball screens and guarding their penetration. And I think the biggest thing that happened is they just had to run a lot of clock to get a good shot, where they were just coming down and getting pretty good shots early, and that's kind of how they like to play, and it seemingly got them a little bit out of rhythm.
Bob, you have a guy that's not shooting very well in the first half, Kevin Jones, and you run a play right out to get him an open shot. In an effort to get him off or build his confidence? I mean, it's score.
No, it was how they were playing things. You know, the thing about KJ is KJ seems to make shots when you need them. You know, he made the big three, the Georgetown game, when they made the run at us, and actually made his rebound basket was huge for us. We tried to post John, and John missed a shot, and KJ was able to keep it alive and score. I thought that was huge for us. That gave us a little bit of breathing room, and but just how they were playing things.
What KJ made there, is that one of those situations where you're almost begging him to pull it back out until you see the ball go through?
No, not the shot that he had. I mean, why are you going to pull it out when you got a layup? I can't speak to that.
How important is that for him? Not that he's played badly this year, but that he's had some up and downs, to have such a big final 2 minutes, the 2 defensive rebounds, and those at this point in the season.
Well, the truth is he's played okay. He just hadn't shot the ball very well. You know, when you look at really what he's done. He's played pretty well. He just hadn't made any shots. He shot it poorly from the free throw line, and he shot it very poorly from three. But he shot it okay, really, from two. You know, he had the one game, the Pitt game, he couldn't make anything around the goal. But you know, generally speaking, he scores it around the goal for us, and he very well could end up being the all-time leading offensive rebounder here, which says a whole lot. You know, he's done a heck, and that's with everybody knowing that he rebounds it. So everybody's trying to keep him from rebounding it. So, I mean, he just hadn't shot the ball as well as he shot the ball a year ago from the free throw line or from three.
Coach, Walker goes 1 for 7 in the last 6 minutes. Just wondering what was the key there. And then the one that he hit was the three with like 3 seconds left.
Just changing defenses. I mean, he can get a shot when he wants to get a shot. Looks like the scary thing is after he leaves, Napier's going to be able to do the same thing.
I think he warmed down during the game. I mean,
Well, Joe chased him. Yeah, Joe chased him the first half, but you know, I just think the second half we didn't give or really the last 4 minutes we didn't give driving lanes that we were given before. You know, they're a very, very good step-in shooting team. You know, their freshmen shoot the ball extremely well if you give them step-in shots, and we gave them a bunch of step-in shots, particularly early in the second half. I mean, how many times were we weren't even around them. We just did a poor job of rotating, and they made shots. It seemed like every time that we looked like we could maybe get a little distance, they'd step in and make a three. But they were wide open threes, and I thought we did a much better job when we went to the matchup of making sure we knew where shooters were.
The other play in that game was, the crowd was going crazy on an official's call. They were taking the ball out under the far end basket, and Flowers stole the pass. I mean, that kind of turned everything. With a 3-point game at that point, and then with the ball.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's done that. I mean, he did that at Purdue game, if you remember. He actually made 2 steals at Purdue game that got us a couple more possessions.
More to him than what you see in there.
You know, Bob, I just said on the radio. No, you're talking about a kid who shot below 50% from the foul line, and a guy who is just he has put in an enormous amount of work. He's totally changed his body. He's a guy that you know you kind of want on the free throw line now. Before you were like trying to set up plays to rebound his misses. We're just trying to get him to miss it consistently, so we knew where it was going to miss from. You know, and he's really done a good job, and he's made himself, you know, a guy that you have to guard him at three. You know, he's not a great three-point shooter, but you have to guard him or he'll make shots, and he gives us that athleticism around the rim. You know, he made a couple. I don't know what they got him for blocks today, but I thought that isn't right. He had more than one block, but I thought he was very effective around the rim today. Just you know, changing shots, blocking shots, and he knows what he's doing. You know, I think that's, you know, we're going down the floor and Missoula yells at me, you know, how do you want to guard those staggers, you know, when we're playing point drop, and then Flowers yells at me, said, are we switching staggers, you know, and 4 years ago, a stagger was, you know, that was a bar downtown, you know.
First half, you chase Kemba with Joe, and then you know, like you said, you're switching things up in the second half. Was that kind of what you wanted to do going into the game, or was that something when you decided to change it up in the second half, was that just something, a gut feeling?
Desperation is what it was. They were scoring every possession. We had to change the tempo. We had to figure out a way that we could get some stops. You know, Mitch, I'm glad you brought that up. I would think that all of you should be very congratulatory towards me. The extreme patience that I've showed, which has really not been a part of my character in the past.
Well, they only get 14 in the paint. You outscored them. I think they had one layup in the second half. Is that as important as anything?
Well, you can't give them easy baskets. They're too good. You can't give them easy baskets. And you know, and again, they rebounded it offensively, but they didn't rebound it for baskets offensively. And I think John had a lot to do with that.
Crowd was really good tonight.
Yeah, I thought, when, you know, Mick, when the students show up, you know, and they're enthusiastic, everybody gets enthusiastic. I saw some people that are probably, you know, a couple years younger than you standing up. It's a good deal.
I can't cheer, Coach.
Huh?
I can't cheer.
No, I said some people just a couple years younger than you were standing up cheering. Yeah.